Tonight on Dateline Abuja, we talk politics and FCT infrastructure as the FCT minister holds his media chat with no holds barred and speaks directly to many of the challenges you, our viewers, gave us to ask him. Political and governance analyst Jide Ojo joins us for a breakdown of the matters arising from that chat, and we update you on the major stories this week from Nigeria's presidency. This is Dateline Abuja. Hello and welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Kayla Magwa. The Nigerian Navy turned 70 this week, and the president commended the Nigerian Navy for curtailing oil theft, inaugurated 3 naval vessels, and flagged off the combined multinational task force. And after all this, he's made his way back to Abuja after his Eid celebrations in Lagos. Here's more on our Abuja wrap.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the recruitment of 1,000 forest guards in Oyo State following the abduction of pupils and teachers from 3 schools in Orire local government area. The approval came as a high-powered federal government delegation on Sunday visited Isiele and Yawota communities in the area, conveying the president's deep concern over the May 15 incident in which pupils and teachers were abducted from Community Grammar School, Baptist Nursery and Primary School, and LEA Primary School. The delegation, led by the President's Chief of Staff, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, also included the National Security Advisor, Malam Noor Ribadu, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Tunji Disu, the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, and the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Public Communications, Mr. Sunday Dari. The team informed community leaders and lawmakers that their request for the establishment of a military base in the area would be conveyed to the President for consideration, and that a specialized security unit with advanced rescue capabilities had been directed to intensify efforts to secure the release of the victims. Addressing residents in English and Yoruba, Mr. Gbajabiamila assured the communities that the rescue operation would be intelligence-led and carefully coordinated, deploying both kinetic and non-kinetic measures. The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has urged women in politics to intensify efforts toward increasing female representation in elective offices, emphasizing that politics is not defined by gender but by numbers and the ability to build strong relationships with local leaders and constituents. She was speaking after meeting with women leaders of the All Progressives Congress from the 36 states and the FCT in her office in the State House, Abuja. The First Lady recalled that during her 3 terms in the Senate, she consistently carried party members along and ensured that women leaders in her district advanced to positions of influence.
Party structure that you have to acknowledge. And if you don't understand that, politics is not about gender, it's about number to start with. But that was why I started speaking about special bill before it became very big. Before I left the Senate, I did. I said, you can't. If they are quoting Rwanda, it's because most of their men were killed. A man will fight you as if he's fighting another woman. And you all know that. And we hope that when you have something, use it to earn the respect of your people, the people that have voted you. You have to connect with them. Up to today, you ask me what happened to people in my district. Even my woman leader is now a chairman of a local, vice chairman of the local government in Apapa. You know, I carried them along. Even the female chairman we had in the day, I will call them. I said, if I find it difficult to reach out to you, how do you want your constituents to reach out to you?
Vice President Kashim Shettima has urged Nigerians to continue to pray for the peace and stability of the country, assuring that President Bola Tinubu remains committed to restoring peace and security across Nigeria. Vice President Shettima made the appeal when he joined other Muslims for a special Jumat prayer held at the National Mosque, Abuja, as part of activities to mark this year's Democracy Day celebration. The Vice President assures of efforts to secure the safe return of all those in the captivity of bandits and terrorists, including the Oyo State school children and staff that were recently abducted. Also in the sermon, the Imam of the National Mosque, Harun Eze, also appealed to leaders at all levels to take decisive action to address security challenges and ensure peace, which he described as essential for national development and the well-being of the citizens.
I want to assure Nigerians of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's unwavering commitment towards restoring peace and stability in the nation.
And Vice President Kashim Shettima has reaffirmed the commitment of the federal government to protecting intellectual property rights of individuals and institutions through commercialization, creativity and research. Vice President Shettima gave the assurance when he hosted the leadership of the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, led by its Director General, Mr. Darren Tang, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has hosted the newly inaugurated President of the Republic of Benin, Mr. Romuald Wadani, at his Lagos residence in what is their first bilateral meeting since Wadani's assumption of office last weekend. Governor Jide of Lagos State received the visiting president on arrival and subsequently escorted him to President Tinubu's residence, where the two heads of state held introductory talks. The closed-door meeting, which lasted approximately 30 minutes, is seen as an early signal of Mr. Wadagni's intent to strengthen ties with Nigeria, Benin Republic's most significant neighbor and trading partner. President Wadani's decision to make Lagos one of his first port of call following his inauguration is widely interpreted as a diplomatic courtesy to Nigeria, reflecting the importance Cotonou attaches to its relationship with its eastern neighbor.
Welcome back. Infrastructure growth in the FCT, security challenges in the nation's capital, cows defacing our highways, child beggars and fierce traders at our city center traffic lights. The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, responded to these issues during his recent media chat. And he also talked politics, as he usually does, declaring the strength of his Rainbow Coalition in his home state of Rivers State and challenging the opposition as he reaffirms his commitment to the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration's second-term bid. It is the June edition and the third in the series of the FCT Minister's monthly media chat for the year 2026. Top on his agenda are efforts by his administration to develop the nation's capital, as well as projects completed and earmarked to celebrate President Tinubu's third-year anniversary.
When we came on board, there was this issue of high insecurity, kidnapping in the rural areas, and it was a very big problem for us. And what we did was to go to the rural areas, or what we call the satellite towns, and interact with the stakeholders, the chiefs, the youths, the women, and other leaders. And one thing I found very interesting is like they know their terrain, and they're able to say, look, we have problems, and these problems are, most of the roads are not passable at all. Even where they have an attack, they cannot repel or they cannot fight back because once these attackers come, they hit, and then by the time they run back, there's no room for you to pursue them, or even if you have the car, nothing to do. And they identify, okay, sir, say for example, Kwali will tell you, if you do so road, this is where we think they're coming from. If this road can be put to use, it will help us a lot. Wawada will tell you the same thing. Abaji will tell you the same thing. Uje will also tell you. Also, we took cognizance. We didn't just sit here to say, let's go and do so road. No. The people appointed, nominated the roads that they want, that are of use to them. And I can tell you today, those roads have been done, and it has really helped in terms of reducing insecurity and in terms of having access to their farm lands.
The issue of open grazing in the nation's capital has lingered for many years. The FCT minister reveals that the ball is not in his court.
That's the issue of national security.
How so?
It's national security. We must face reality. You see, this country, you must agree or not. And that's when you see people try to take action on certain things, some people come out with one kind of religion or ethnicity. Let the truth be told, you know that one of the things we have done and when we came in, but look, the president has said, look, let's do ranching and see how we can take these cows, animals out of the city. It is an eyesore. It is not fair. It is not good. The new Minister of Livestock is doing quite a lot by the support of Mr. President, and he's talking with the mayor and what those of them were to see how we can take these cows to the areas where they should be. I apologize to that. I take responsibility that up to now there are cows. But you should also face the reality. It's not easy as you are saying it here. It is not easy as you are saying it. You know the problem in this country. And you must come out to say, this is a problem, we must tackle this problem, and we must give you support.
The FCT minister also defended the use of the police to barricade and prevent the Turaki-led People's Democratic Party from assessing the initial venue for the ratification of former President Goodluck Jonathan as their presidential candidate.
People say, oh, we can stop them. I owe a duty not allow breach of peace in this city. I owe a duty to protect lives and property. I owe a duty to make sure economic activities thrive without molestation. If people have written to me to say, look, we have done our congresses as allowed by law. We are hearing that some people want to use our name again to go and hold Congress. There's no two PDP. It's only one PDP. And recognized by the electoral umpire as created by law. Any party or what is called faction, if you have faction, it is what they call faction. If you have faction not recognized by INEC, too bad for you. Too bad. Some people are those you should arrest. Police should say, listen, you are causing crisis in our polity. Don't do what you are doing. These same people are in court now. I hear of appeal, their matters on the 3rd of June. Why not be patient? We here said we will take laws into our hand. I will not allow any breach of peace in this city. I will not allow it. I owe that duty. You cannot be causing crisis. You cannot. If I've allowed them to use that, people can come there to attack them. People can come there to fight. And then you say, there's problem in Abuja. Where's the problem? When I've known that you want to cause the problem, I owe a duty to stop you causing that problem.
On the conduct of primary elections by opposition parties and what the future is looking like for them from his point of view, Mr. Wike had this to say.
See what's happening in the NDC. As small as they are, they cannot do a priority without protest. Look at ADC. While the Congress was going on, the two presidential aspirants came out and said, we cannot believe this, that you will perpetrate on this. We have been accusing this party of doing this. Now see what we are doing. See what we have done. So that now tells you who is deceiving who. P2B likes food is ready. Mama put, I don't want struggling. Look, this country, there are challenges. You must have the capacity to face those challenges. It's not when you hear one problem, oh, this problem is too much, let me move to a social place. Look, you saw in PDP, all the governors. Is it not correct? I said, I will not leave this party. They had money, yes, but it's not money. I said, I was not going to leave. Rather, you will leave. Have I left? Have they not left? It's challenging. Face the challenges you have. That's what makes you a leader. That's what makes you a man. In Rivers State today, we're not talking about whether President Tinubu will win the election. We're talking about how do we mobilize our people? The number we want to send out to say, these are people who voted for me. If anybody tells you that, we are thinking whether Tinubu will win, or please let the person forget it. Right, it has been taken. What we are now doing, our sickness now is what number will he get? As it is today, South Side, I think will not get the required percentage. Southwest, he will not get.
The FCT minister also gives an update on his relationship with the Rivers State Governor, Simnalai Fubara, while dismissing reports of any planned defection.
He traveled, he's coming back, he's a member of the coalition. No, don't make that mistake. He cannot go to any place. Yes, he may have made his mistakes, does not mean that he doesn't want to correct the mistake.
Okay.
And once he comes back now, he will join.
His share is at the table.
No. At least he called me before he traveled. He called me, so everything is working out well.
As the countdown to the 2027 election continues, Mr. Wike further reiterates that in Rivers State, the political landscape is dependent on the Rainbow Coalition. To break down and help us understand the ramifications of Minister Wike's Rainbow Coalition and help speak to the infrastructure and security issues still faced in parts of the FCT, political and governance analyst Jide joins us tonight on the program. Mr. Jide, welcome again to Dateline Abuja.
My pleasure.
You watched the media chat with the FCT minister, and you know, I was there, so it felt like it was two parts. The first part was about infrastructure deficit, security issues, and then the second part, of course, he decided to talk politics. But I dare say he did talk about development more than he talked about politics in this particular episode, just based on the timing that was used, because it was 2 straight hours. So let's start with what happened the first hour. One of the things we talked to him about was all these cows on the streets and the children begging at traffic lights all over the city center, and these very aggressive traders. Just a way that a lot of these human issues are happening at the same time he's trying to beautify the FCT. So maybe talk to us a little bit about that and how he can create that balance, because when we talked about the cows, he said it's a security issue. When it came to the children, he didn't really say much about the children who are begging at traffic lights. And then when it came to the traders, he said, well, there are places for them to go, but no one wants to listen. So maybe how can he balance out these human issues, you know, next to the infrastructure problem and the beautification of the FCT that he's committed to?
Well, first and foremost, Nyesom Wike is not the first FCT minister. There have been several, even of northern extraction, from who has been at the helm of affairs in FCT. I think he's being cautious with the issue of cows and the street begging. This is an election year, and he just wanted to melimbe, as they say in local parlance, until when the election is over. I recall that in the 2023 election, President Bola Tinubu did not even score 25% of votes in FCT. And he has promised the president that he would deliver FCT and deliver Rivers to him, which is why the president have an implicit trust and confidence in him. And I heard he apologized for
he took responsibility.
Yeah, took responsibility. Yeah. But we know, much as we want to blame the FCT minister, we should blame the president more. The president established the Ministry of Livestock Development 2 years ago. Part of the reason was that it was going to help with resolving elders farmers clashes, and will take this issue of cattle rearing off the street. But we have a minister there who has, I don't know what he's doing. He should take more responsibility, because if the plan, the livestock transformation plan agenda had worked, we should not be seeing anybody rearing cattle on the streets. So I think it's something that the security agencies, alongside with the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, the Minister of FCT, needs to jointly work that. But I don't see any concrete action until after 2027.
So we just have to bear it.
For another 7 months or
another 7 months. What about the beggars? The
beggars is also another albatross every administration has faced. It's the reflection of society. the lack of proper care for the vulnerable. Most of these boys and girls begging for house are supposed to be in school. They form part of the proportion of out-of-school children. So if government has done the needful in encouraging free, compulsory primary and secondary education, at the very minimum, those boys and girls we see begging for house will not be on the streets. But the society has failed them because the society has become survival of the strongest and the fittest. And you know, fingers are not equal. People are not equally endowed. So some have to, in fact, we are only talking of street beggars. We have corporate beggars now. Even online, you see a lot of people come to your inbox and say, you know, guy, urgent 2K.
Yeah, there's a name for it. They say a lot of Nigerians have turned the country into a Begistan.
You said it. So it's something that is catching, that is going viral. Like,
But the ones on the street, though, there's a dynamic to them that has some bit of criminality. We got some reports around the Wuse area, on that road that leads to Wuse Market, especially. So you see them with their water bottles, and they come with things trying to clean your windows and whatnot. So while that one is doing that in the front, someone is trying to open your back door. You know, so there are people who have complained about being robbed and things like that especially that Aminu Kano
which is
access.
why it should not be tolerated. And that's why I said we need to look at it from a sociological point of view. Yes, criminalities are incubated in poverty, unemployment. You get, not everybody is long-suffering. That will say, if I don't have, I will endure. And there is also a limit to human endurance. So government needs to look at the proper policies to ensure, one, that all these children are, you know, given, even if it's to give them scholarship to go back to school or to put them in vocational centers.
Finally, he talked politics in the second hour of that conversation. I just want to get your thoughts on because a lot has happened since then. I remember on another one of our programs in Sunrise Daily, we had Mr. Tony Cole who talked about, look, the truth is from the national level, we've been ordered, really, to be a part of the Rainbow Coalition led by Nyesom Wike. We're going to work together with him to get a governor. And I asked at the time, I said, what happens with Siminalayi Fubara? Should he join the coalition? He said he's supposed to. If he's a party man, he's supposed to join that coalition. But the concept of a rainbow coalition, bringing out a candidate who will be governor, it feels alien in my mind. Maybe I'm too young, but it does feel a little alien to our political dynamic. Is this something that you've seen before? Can it work?
It's working for him. It's not about whether it can work. It has worked for him. It's working for you, and you don't change something that is working. I don't agree with Wike's politics. His policies, yes, resonate with me in a sense, but his politics, I believe, is Machiavellian. And when you go, if you read The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli, you see it's about the end justifies the means. Whatever means I need to use, I need to get this destination, I need to attain this. So anybody using Machiavellian principle can never be somebody I will say I idolize. I don't hate them, but they will not be my role model. There's a clarification I want to offer. But it's working for him. And I think some students of political science need to study Wike's politics. You see, Niccolo Machiavelli wrote his book centuries back, and it's still being used. Someone wrote 48 Laws of Power. It's still being used and adopted, and this may be an opportunity to understudy what kind of human being. We've seen godfathers all around. In Kano, the godfather, godson. In Benue, godfather, godson. In Kogi, in almost every country, every state, there are godfather, godson, kind of, in most states. But why is Rivers different? He thought about Rainbow Coalition Rainbow Coalition, in my own opinion, is about multi-party collaboration to achieve some political ends.
Yes.
And it's not out of place. Even in political discussion, we have what is called alliance, working alliance. There is alliance, there is merger. If you don't want to merge, you can do an alliance. And I see that coalition, Rainbow Coalition, as an alliance. It's a working alliance. And in any event, as a student of politics, we've said and we do know that politics is a game of interest. Interest here could be anything. Could be appointments, could be contracts, could be holding executive office, legislative office. It's all about interest and values. And when you adopt the Machiavellian principle, some people join cults for power, isn't it? And I mean campus cults.
Yeah. Power and protection.
For protection, for so many reasons. So look at how long we've been campaigning against campus cultism and all of that. Has that stopped people from joining?
Because you haven't given them...
Maybe
you haven't given them an alternative that can give them
protection and power. So for Nyesom Wike, he possibly have understood the Rivers State politics to know that it needs more than one party system to be in effective control. So he now straddled at least two parties that we know, PDP and APC. And look at what he did.
But Labour is part of it as well.
In 2024, I think it was 2024, after the resolution of the mediation by the president, I think it was 2024 they had this, either 2024 or sometimes 2025, they had these local government elections in Rivers. Out of 23 local government, he gave APC 20. He retained 3 for PDP, including his Obiakpo local government. That is Rainbow Coalition for him. When people say you are in PDP and these people who won under APC are your loyalists, he say yes, that's a coalition, that they are doing coalition. So for him, a party system, a political party is just a special purpose vehicle. Because you cannot run as an independent. So to Nyesom Wike is about, you have multiple vehicles. You have a Prado Jeep, you have a Land Cruiser, you have private jet. So at every point in time, it looks at which one will get him to his destination faster, safer.
We'll be watching to see how it all unfolds, but unfortunately we are out of time. But I have to thank you so much, Mr. Jide Ojo.
Always a pleasure.
For making out the time to be with us on Dateline Abuja, and good luck with all the work you have ahead of you.
Keep safe and stay blessed.
Thanks to my guest and to everyone who spoke to us today on the program. Please let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screens. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kayla Magwa. See you next time.